Well, hey folks, Species7 here. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back. Oh, did I not walk through you? Let me guess, Sugar Bean? Yay! And welcome back to the Platinum edition of Farm Sim 17. And, well, I finally finished seeding our two fields. I put the corn into the, big field, and we have finished the sugar cane. Now, while the workers were doing that, I went out and did missions all over the map. And, well, let me tell you, there is some weird stuff going on with the missions on this map. In fact, we're going to have to do some more because, although I did do enough to manage to get our mower back, as you can see, we've got the little Massey sitting here. We do need a tedder, a baler, etc., etc., because this is seasons now. We can't just heap the grass up in a corner and hope for the best. But, like I said, there's some really strange things going on as far as the missions. In fact, kind of as far as the map in general. And I don't know if anybody would have noticed this yet unless they had actually, as I did, bounced all over the map doing missions. As I pointed out last time, as we see here, there is no planting or harvesting time for sugar beets. And one of you pointed out, well, that's because we've got this, and basically they're grown for the same reason. During the missions yesterday, yeah, I planted sugar beets on field 25, field 4, and field 7. So, yeah, this is all sugar beets now. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. It's this one that's now sugar beets. So, I'm not sure what what the deal is with that. The other thing that was a little bit weird with missions... There we go. Oh, I didn't really want to be in there. Is a lot of the time you'd pop into the mission and it would have, you know, let's say a seeder. Most of them were seeding. In fact, I think all of them were seeding missions just because it is day A. And you'd get a tractor, a seeder, and a front weight. The only thing is it would be a tractor like this, or like this, with a built-in front weight. So, yeah, and I know you can attach some things to rear weights. Yeah, but for one thing, seeders is not in that category, and for another, why the heck would you weigh the rear end down? So yeah, a lot of the times I'd come back up the third or fourth row that I was seeding and push the weight way the heck up off the field so it was out of my way. There didn't seem to be really any other way to do it. Yeah. The other odd thing is filling your, and this has been noticed by a couple of you, but I think it's actually a bug and something that Giants will like. Well, not that planting sugar beets on a map that doesn't have sugar beets isn't a bug, but about refilling the sugar cane planter. Yeah, it fills with seeds just fine, but oddly enough, it fills with dry pelletized fertilizer, even though it's actually delivering, and near as I can tell by the way it does it, although, I mean, we could be wrong. Maybe it does use pelletized. But it seems to be delivering a liquid fertilizer, so I don't know. But, yeah. It's cool, you can actually load seeds from outside of the building. It's close enough. Which is good. It meant I didn't have to move all that. So yeah, there is apparently an issue with filling that. But here nor there, like I said, that's something Giants is going to address. At this point in time, like I said, I need some kit because we can start cutting grass pretty quick here. But we really don't have the money. That's the one thing with the seasons, without those crops to sell and that sort of thing. You're not exactly off to a money-rich start. So what I'm in fact going to do is pick another field and go and do it. Yeah, we're gonna end up having to run a couple of missions here early on in the game just to get ahead. And besides, I was running everything at 1x and doing missions. Yeah, as you can see, it's only 4 hours after the start time. But I did spend that entire 4 hours doing missions, believe me. So let's see what we've got left to do here, shall we? Well, I've already hit the small guys pretty much, because those are the fields, like I said. I want to buy one of these small fields to be used as our factories. I know 28 is flat as heck. 26 and 25, not so much. 24 is nice and flat. How is field 5? Let's go visit field 5, shall we? Again, kind of lumpy. So this wouldn't be my favorite. What do they want us to do? How long? 25. Okay, that's probably just about right. Ooh. This time, oh, I also got, I'll be with you in a second, dude. I will do your field, but I'll be there in a second. I get paired up with, where are we here? This tractor. Okay. Along with, where are we here? This and this. Okay. To seed a field. And the fields are so close together that by the time the tractor, right, because I mean that's a long package. By the time you actually got the seeder to the end of the field, the tractor, you were getting the countdown to re-enter the mission area. And of course, turning that big cat Challenger around and getting everything done, it was, you get a 10-second countdown. I'd have 3 seconds left when I got all the gear back into the mission zone. So that was just a little bit scary. Yeah. I also had one where I got a Massey tractor, a big seeder, and it was such a close thing on the horsepower that you had to raise the seeder, shut it off, and do a big circle at the end of the field. Like, you couldn't just crank it over and turn around. No, you had to do a big gradual circle because the tractor couldn't drag the seeder hard enough to do a tight circle. Yeah, some weird stuff, let me tell you. Alright, now I'm willing to start, buddy. And because I've been doing so many missions, guess what I added to the pack? The pack, oh no. Who's been playing Minecraft lately, eh? Modded Minecraft. Okay, well. There we go. Yes, indeed, I added courseplay because... Oh, that's one thing, too. Good luck. Yeah. Good luck trying to see the red lines, man. Seriously, like, it is hard. You basically got to go by that green line. There we go. Alright, let's go. Automatic working width. Why is it way over there? Now, offset, oh, of course. There we go. And let's start. Yeah. I find that even the little bit of time that it takes you to set the GPS and to change it at the end of, you know, to click back to it, etc., at the end of the rows, is more than made up for by the fact that you're so accurate in what you're doing. you don't end up with a bunch of overlap or gap. Or see here again, this is another one of these things where, see, just to turn around, I will actually end up seeding his field. You know, it's one thing to drive on somebody's field, it's entirely another to start seeding the corners of it as you go. Yeah. So, but this is pretty much what I've been doing. It took, well, the entire time, 4 hours, to do the sugarcane planting. Now, the thing with the fertilizer, because I didn't want him to keep getting caught out every time, because I was on missions and couldn't, you know, more or less check his progress. Because it doesn't tell you anything when you're on mission. If your worker has stopped, whatever their status is just, well, you're doing other things and we're not going to disturb you. Now, is it leaving a gap? It really looks like it is, isn't it? Why is that? Oh, the width isn't right. Alright, I'm going to change that at the end of this row. I didn't realize that. See, the width is sticking out 7 meters. It's only a 6 meter. It is only 6 meter. So, we need to make a little bit smaller. There we go. 6 meters. Oh, wow. Not sure why it set itself to 7, but... Okay, not sure why I did that either, but I think rather than screw with it, I'll just do the half row. Usually pretty generous with the time. Oh. Dang. And then I wasn't seeding. Oh, we're just off to a rollicking start. Honestly, I did do this yesterday. Yeah, we can see now that our, well, I'm not sure if you can even see it here, but we are actually the proper width now. Well, that's odd. It's usually not an issue it has. The auto width is usually pretty good, or at least most of the time I found it to be so. I'm only really the basics with this particular mod, the GPS, as I'm sure you guys have seen. So, yeah, I definitely left some nasty little gaps down the field. Oopsie. So I see there's another farming game on the horizon. Well, actually it's due to release at some point this month, according to Steam. What is it? Farming Dynasty? Farmer's Dynasty? One of those. So, there was some debate first. Well, yeah, it's kind of weird. The assets, just looking at them, you can tell they are pretty much identical to what was used in the Expert Farmer series. If you look up information on the company doing it, it gets even weirder because they happen to occupy the same building as UIG. But that's sort of a neither here nor there. I mean, if you look up Giants and look into their offices, you'll actually find they share their building with a company that books tennis tours. So, you know, it's not like Giants is in any way related to the tennis industry, though. So, one of those things. But it actually looks quite interesting. It's got kind of a storyline to go with it, and more or less a rags to riches sort of farming thing. And looks quite interesting. I will, of course, be bringing it to you guys when and if I can get my hands on it. But rather an interesting one. And as for the Professional Farmers American Dream thing by UIG, they actually have bothered to bring a rep to the forum. Only thing is, they haven't yet, although of course promises have been made. Yeah, nothing in the way of any patches or bug fixes or anything else yet. Just a bunch of, oh yeah, we're working on it, we're gonna patch it, we're gonna fix it, blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's pretty much a matter of UIG is not so much a game company as a den of liars and thieves, you know. And I have a feeling they've been burning through their liars at such a rate. I think at this point they're just hiring people off the street, you know. Seriously, no, just go on and tell them everything's okay. You know, if it gets too much for you, we'll just find somebody else. But just tell them everything's okay. As I say, this Dynasty one looks like it might be interesting. But we'll see. It's also one of these ones where, you know, it's been on the early, well, not the early access, it's been on the coming soon thing for quite a while, with simply, you know, November 2017 is a release date. And although the developers are being responsive in the forum, again, you kind of get used to the fact that just because you're told something by these fine folk, it doesn't necessarily make it so. You know, it's one of those deals, it seems, when it comes to patching games, or promises of patching games, if it isn't in hand, it may not actually exist. Unfortunate, but seems to be the way things are with most of these companies. And speaking of new farm games, I see that Cattle and Crops, still my most hopeful of the next reigning kings of farm, has released another new mission, and this is what they call a complete mission. You start by prepping a field and end by harvesting it. So yeah, it's an actual start to finish sort of scenario. Rather interesting. I haven't tried it yet. Apparently it takes about an hour to complete, or just over. So I don't know that it would be great YouTube fodder, as it were, either. Although I am certainly, when I get a bit of time here, going to give it a check. And if it looks like something that might be worth an episode or two, I will certainly do it. I'm really intrigued with what I've played of the game so far. Buggy, etc., but hey, you know, I don't have an issue with it, as long as the company is forthright and does, as they have done, put it into early access. You know, I've been looking at the Real Farm forums. I'm not going to get that game. It's another one of these ones. They just seem a little bit too greasy to be real. But they're still at that stage of, oh yeah, promises, promises, promises. Yeah, and without things looking like they're really getting any better. But, what are you doing, you weirdo? Turn the sower off, don't hit the autos, or the cruise control. They're now saying things like, you know, well, we're running a beta branch and blah blah blah, so if you want to get involved in the... You don't fully release a game and then, you know, to make up for the fact that it's a buggy, horrifying mess, go, hey, you know, here's our beta branch, our experimental branch. I mean, this isn't Imperium Galactic Survival. you know, where you're clearly in an early access. You're not. Everybody on the forum before the game was released basically begged the company, don't do it. Don't go straight to release unless you're absolutely sure you've got a good product. You know, and oh no, you guys will see when we release it, it's just pure blah 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 blah. Yeah. Now they're backpedaling as fast as they can, you know, and going, oh no no no, you know, we're working on it, we've got an experimental beta, you guys participate in that, and then your feedback will help develop the game. You know, they released it at darn near AAA pricing as a full working game. So, I don't know. Boy, we're really going to get down tight on this one, aren't we? Usually, I find myself with lots of extra time. But, oh, and no bonuses for time on any of these missions, by the way. So, you can't expect for redemption there, I'm afraid. Alrighty. I mean, we'll make it in plenty of time, but... And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gimme the money. Haha. That's how we make the big bucks. Yeah, I know, $2,000. That's pretty sad. Pretty sad. As you can see, I'm getting a lot of fields sown here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 so far. Yep. And I'm going to continue to do a bunch more. Now, how much moolah do we have? 18,000. So, things that we need. Well, we need a tedder, we need a windrower, we need a baler. So, let's have a look. Tedder, select. 11,000 for the tedder. Okay. Cheapest windrower, 9,000, so we need 20k plus the baler, which I believe the Massey is 12. So we need a total of $32,000 of dollars just to get grass bales. So, well, hey, I'm halfway there. I'm going to continue on in that vein. These are all planted, I guess. Field 8. And what have you got for me? Ooh, neat. But see, it's not like you make a lot of money. I can tell you that. Wow. But I'm going to give it a go. And let's open it up. Alrighty. Let's turn on the goopus. Let's auto width. Okay, that's again not the right width. There we go. 17.4. I think they're actually 17. Oops. Wow. Alright, well, I'm going to call it 16.9. And there we go. Let's get started. So I don't imagine you guys want to see seeding after seeding after seeding. So I think we've got everything out there that we wanted to get out there for today. Geez, I could have lined this up a little better. Oh well. We'll worry about those sort of things on our own fields. So, hope you enjoyed, guys. Thanks again for all the comments. A lot of really good ideas, good advice. And yeah, I did load the Ford tractors. That was suggested that looking for something that breaks 100 horse quite cheaply. The Massies are a heck of a good deal. Problem is, they're only 88 horse. I don't even remember what I needed the 100 horse for, but I did, and I'll remember when I look and see it again. But yeah, as it turns out, the Ford does have a good tractor for a good price. So there you go. Anyway, till next time, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Remember to hit the like button, all that happy YouTube stuff. Till next time, this is Species 7.